Cloudcover is your trusted source for managed IT, hosted voice, and cloud solutions. In today's world, IT is an essential part of business, no matter if you visit with patients or perform lawn maintenance. All companies need some sort of technology to effectively communicate with their clients, process requests, keep accurate records, send invoices, pay bills, the list goes on. Whatever industry you are in, Cloudcover can help, whether you have your own IT staff or not. Cloudcover has solutions that cover businesses of all shapes and sizes. When IT breaks down, it can be costly. Let Cloudcover build your most robust, reliable, mobile, and secure platform that will keep your business running smoothly and securely while providing the flexibility of working anywhere. Give us a call at 225-755-9422 or visit us on the web at cloudcover.com. That's spelled CLOWDCOVER.com. Cloudcover, CLOWDCOVER.com, a proud sponsor of Hustle Makes It Happen, the podcast.
With combined decades of experience, the staff at Rockstar Buildings will make your next metal building purchase quick and easy. Specializing in all types of metal buildings, from carports to garages to barns and more, Rockstar Buildings wants to be your go-to source for all your metal building needs. Priding themselves on experience, reliability, quality products, and stellar customer service has made Rockstar Buildings our choice for our metal building needs, and we could not be more pleased with the workmanship, service after the sale, and of course, the hustle of everyone at Rockstar Buildings. Y'all, let me tell you about the hustle of Rockstar Metal Buildings. I personally use Rockstar Metal Buildings to build a 60 by 40 shop in my house, and I could not be more pleased with the quality of product and service that they provided to me. They were awesome from start to finish. Give them a call or visit them on the web at rockstarbuildings.com to see the many examples of what Rockstar Buildings can do for you. Rockstar Buildings, a proud sponsor of Hustle Makes It Happen, the podcast. What's up, everybody? You're listening to Hustle Makes It Happen, a podcast about the grit, the determination, and the mindset that it takes to become a winner. Success is not an accident. It lives outside your comfort zone, in the trenches, where excuses are met by brick walls. So strap in, tighten up, and let's get ready to hustle. What's up, hustlers? Welcome back to another episode of Hustle Makes It Happen, the podcast. We got a good one in here for you today. We're going to talk to Mr. Jarrett and Miss aNDREA Johnson from Fit Blends Denham Springs, Fit Blends Airline, Fit Blends Rain, Anytime Fitness Church Point. Talk about hustling. These two together are running 4 businesses as a team, which is incredible. Before we get off into that, I want to say that if you're a new viewer to the show, please, if you get some value out of the show, share it with a friend and come back and see what else we have for you. If you're one of our long-term viewers for the show, make sure you're subscribed to the show on YouTube and go on iTunes. Please, if you're getting value out of the show every week, go on iTunes, drop us a 5-star review, help us boost the podcast up so we can get out and reach as many people as possible. That is our plug. That's our little intro. Jarrett, aNDREA, what is up?
aNDREA.
Respond to them all. It's fine.
aNDREA.
Yes.
It's all good.
Yeah.
No, man. So I knew I was going to squander that because we talked about it. So,
It's kind of like when you tell a pilot, "Hey, don't hit that."
Yeah.
Automatically going to touch it.
yeah. So I knew that was going to happen. But look, we appreciate y'all coming in here, take some time out of your day to tell us a little bit about yourself, tell us about your story, and do what we do, man. We're going to get in between those ears and figure out what makes you tick and what's led you to success. So
For sure.
Awesome.
Tell us a little bit about your personal life, your kids, and then tell us a bit about your business.
So personal life, pretty quiet, especially since we're so busy with everything that we do. Most of the time at the house, we relax, play with the kids, cook, do whatever, hang out with family. 2 small children, very active. My little girl, Mary James, dancing, gymnastics, soccer now. And then Thomas Reed's just my boy. He's all over the place. does what he wants. As far as work-wise, I mean, between the stores, the gym, aNDREA actually does photography well. She's been doing that for 10 years. Just straight hustling, I guess, yeah.
So it's 5 businesses and a full-time life, parents, kids, all that stuff.
Pretty much, yeah.
Man, so I read in the questionnaire that you guys sent in that you're an extrovert, talk to anybody.
Yeah.
And that you are a little bit more conserved and introverted.
Absolutely.
So how does that dynamic play out in the business world? Like, does that help y'all kind of bounce off each other or what?
It does.
It does. So pretty much, like, I don't really care if somebody wants to come talk to me. I'll talk to a wall if I have to. It's whatever. So that's why I kind of do the front side of it inside, and then aNDREA is the brain behind the back. Does our accounting, does our social media, does our bookkeeping, does literally everything on the back side is all her. And then, like I said, myself, I'm on the front side. So all the ordering, all the customer service, all the traveling to the stores, making sure everything's good, especially at the gym. If there's any issues, stuff like that, I take care of that side, and then aNDREA takes care of the back. So,
Got you. I got you. So, aNDREA, tell me a little bit about whenever you were talking about you being extremely organized. I saw in your questionnaire that you wrote that you were extremely organized, and he just tapped into a lot of that. Like 5 businesses, 5 that you have to manage, and then I mean you're a mother too, so you got to manage your household as well. What kind of things do you do every day that help keep you on track, and like how do you do it? Because I am the least organized. Chase will tell you. I am the least organized person on the planet.
I call it my organized chaos.
Yeah. Well, that's how Chase is too. Like he thrives in it. But what do you do?
Oh God.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's routine every single day. And I mean, I raised our kids at home for the first 2 years of denim, and then when we bought Airline, they were still at home with me. So they just started school really this year. So I've been home doing all 5 businesses with the 2 kids with me at home. And it's just been. Some days I'm just like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Because it was so stressful. But it just all fell down to routine. Every day I do the same things. Like any time in the morning, Jarrett comes home, I'm sitting at my desk. I have everything out for that day, and I'll tell him like what I'm doing, and I always have a list. Like I write down a list every day on a notepad on my desk, and people are like, you still use paper?
That's this guy right here.
I am a list dude as well. It's the only way. Like it's the only way for me to stay organized.
So I'll tell you, for us, with everything that we have going on, we have, this is turned into a business too for us,
Right.
And so with land development, and we sat down and had a powwow not too long ago, and like we were seeing a couple things slip through the cracks, and we just knew we needed to tighten that wrench on it. So we sat down. We have monthly meetings with our owners. I'm acting like there's a whole bunch of them, but
It's just us. It's us and Garrison.
we have a board meeting every month.
Yeah, the 3 of us.
So we realized that we were having some things slip through the cracks, and we needed to tighten that up. And I'm not the list guy, and this is not going to translate between both of us. So Justin came up with a Microsoft Teams, and instantly amazing. Like we created lists, and we can both share and see and check off, and we're like, oh wow, here's this little thing we've been missing. That, and look, I'm just having that communication that we can both digitally just pass to each other and give little tasks and follow ups, man, has been amazing. So knowing that you don't have to do that, I mean, y'all see each other every night, like we don't.
With our manager for Denim and Airline, that we have a list on the phone.
God, we have
it goes through all 3 of us.
So many shared lists. We have shared calendars.
You might want to look into that.
Yeah, Teams,
Microsoft
nice.
Teams.
Yeah.
It's not very expensive.
Yeah.
But the plug that you can give, I mean, you can have drop down folders for days and
That's
give.
what I'm talking about.
So I don't know.
That's
Look,
awesome.
good job, Microsoft Teams. We gave you a plug.
Way to go, Microsoft. And look, it's well integrated too. So like, I don't know what you use for email, but like we use Outlook for our front porch email.
Yeah.
And it's so if we add a task in Microsoft Teams and assign a due date, it adds it in Microsoft Planner and it puts it on Microsoft Outlook in the calendar, and it sends you email note. Like it's legit.
Yeah. So we have a family shared calendar.
Oh God, yes.
Jarrett won't look at it on some days. I'm like, look at the calendar.
Yeah, it was bad enough. Look, I'm terrible at that. I really am. I'm the worst. Like, thank God she's organized because I'm not.
Look, after Chuck Smith came in here and told us that he makes his wife send him calendar invites, I was like, oh my God, like a light bulb went
I
off.
put reminders on his phone all
So
day
that's
long.
what I do now. Like we got the app Cozy. We use the
Really?
Cozy app.
Yeah.
And my wife, I told her the other day, I was like, please just go in and put, because my wife is super organized. She's like you. I'm like, please, everything that you want me to do, just go stick it in this calendar.
Yeah,
And
he'll tell me something. He's like, but it wasn't on the calendar. I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, we have it down packed enough to where it's, if I get in my truck and drive to a location, because I'm so forgetful.
I can put a reminder. It'll tell him when he drives up at the
Yeah,
denim
like
store.
we pull up to one of the
or at
stores, it'll be
airline
like,
store.
and I'll get a notification on my watch or my phone or whatever, and be like, hey, don't forget this. Oh shit. Okay, yeah.
It's like I'm on his shoulder all day.
Dude, that's awesome, man. And what's really impressive about it is like that you two have kind of, through trial and error, I'm assuming,
Yes.
figured out how
Yes.
to.
Figure out.
And
this
we're
is-
still figuring out.
Yeah.
Still figuring out. I don't think we'll ever figure it out completely, but that's the whole point of the game.
That's right. So I want to talk, because we're kind of leaning in that direction already, I want to talk a little bit about failure. So we talked about trial and error, right? You
Yeah.
talk about y'all have gone through this kind of iterative process of getting organized and learning how to work with each other, and like you being forgetful and you being super organized and how to kind of pair that together to be successful. What about like, has that ever led to a massive failure, like before you started these processes, or is most of your failure oriented around like the way you feel about certain
I wouldn't say
things?
any like really massive failures. I mean, we've done things where we've tried it and it hasn't worked. Like with burgers, we did burgers for a long time at the store when we bought into it. Everybody loved them, but at the same time, we'd have people that would complain because the burgers would take too long, or it was take too long, or it
didn't
was
fit the brand.
overcooked,
Took too
or
long to cook 'em.
just even worse. Like one of the girls one time actually gave a raw burger, like the outside was cooked, but the inside was still raw, to a customer. I mean, of course, we apologized a million times and refunded them and did everything we could to try to make it right. They were cool about it, but it just got to the point where it was like, you know what? Everybody likes the burgers. Let's just put it on prep, because we do online prep and stuff like that for as well. Got there, was going through it. It was going okay, and then till finally I was like, you know what? That's not really part of our brand. Which I would make the burgers personally. Well, what we plan on doing in the future, there's no way that I can make the burgers for everybody. So it was like, you know what? We're just going to cut that out. No burgers, because we did it all. I did chicken, I did beef. We had plant-based, like the Beyond Beef burgers, because we do a product called Plant Fair. That it's a non-meat based product. I think it's like 6 ingredients. Half of it's like soy and chickpea or whatever. It's actually pretty good. It looks like chicken. You season it, it tastes like whatever you season it with. But we got to the point where stuff like that was like, got rid of the burgers, trial and error. Like right now, we were talking about this morning with FaceTiming with proportions and stuff like that. We're starting to introduce where we have these issues like, okay, we're spending this amount of money on doing things, but we're not seeing the feedback that we're liking. So what are we proportioning? How are we doing this? How are we doing that? So my food rep and I met, what day? Thursday? Yesterday? What was it? What's today? Friday? Yeah. See, here we go.
I think so.
Yeah. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Controlled chaos.
Yeah, it's Friday.
Andre, send a reminder, please.
Yes.
Yeah. What is today?
Today's Friday.
Today's Friday. So yeah, so we met like Wednesday, Thursday, whatever. Comes in, checks everything out. We start talking like, look, we want everything to be consistent. That's the point of a franchise. You want to be able to go in one store, wherever it is, doesn't matter, and be able to order the same thing that you can order here in Denham, in Airline, in Rain, in Maurice. If we hopefully, fingers crossed, venture out across state lines, wherever, you should be able to walk into one and order what you want. So with the consistency, we want to make sure that everything's proportioned properly. So we actually started implementing this proportion bags. So now whenever all the girls prepare our food for us, we literally weigh it out in a bag and put it in a proportion bag. There's 100 million restaurants that probably do the same thing.
Right.
So basically what we're going to do is we're going to try to streamline that throughout the franchise.
But it was something we didn't know.
Yeah, something we
until
didn't know.
recently.
Yeah. No, that's
Through
right.
trial
We
and
just felt
error,
like we kept
failure,
failing
yeah.
in that area of proportion sizes.
And
Because, I
it-
mean, it's hard.
And it's great to find a system when you're implementing any business that
Yes.
that like the light bulb goes off and you get that check mark because it's proof that what you're doing is working, and helps streamline things. I mean, that's amazing because we have those little light bulbs that go off in our business. I'm like, that worked well. I was like, hold on, let me write this down. Let me figure this out because I want to keep that in, and it could help implement in other avenues too. Maybe not just the the portion size. You're like, oh, well, what if we grab it in that way as well. Nick Torito and Area Home Lending, Louisiana's top choice for mortgages. If you're looking to buy, build, or refinance, they have you covered. Don't get fooled by one of those online or out-of-state banks. Nick and Area Home Lending are Louisiana-based and lend in all of Louisiana. From Lake Charles to Lafayette or all of Baton Rouge to New Orleans. If it's in this state, Nick and his team are local experts and ready to help. Your home is one of the biggest decisions and investments you will make in your life. With trust, commitment, and care, Nick will walk you through the process, step by step, making the hardest decision easy and ensuring the process is as simple and painless as possible. And with Nick, you'll find out that you're not only just another transaction or number on the list. He's invested in you, and you become family with his goal to create a relationship that will always be there. Area Home Lending has access to the best loan programs too, and with the lowest rate and fees, all while delivering exceptional customer service. Please give him a call today at 225-663-2500 or visit him on the web at www.areahomelending.com. I guarantee you, he will take great care of you. Nick Torito and Area Home Lending, a proud sponsor of Hustle Makes It Happen, the podcast.
Yeah, it's the importance of like having processes, and I think any like developing business, I know certainly for us, it sounds like for y'all, as businesses develop, like the only ones that are truly successful and the ones that really excel are the ones that get these processes and procedures down. And that's something that people really, really overlook too. Chase and I talked yesterday, matter of fact, about it, and really it's just because I get moody sometimes, but
it's okay.
whenever we start hitting these obstacles, you have obstacles. Everybody has obstacles, but a lot of times what I do mentally, and I know this is probably not a good thing, but like I'll get really like, I don't know, I just get in a mood. Like I get in like kind of a funk.
Yep.
And then once I hit that funk, I'm like, man, things are just not going well, right? And this is like a make or break point, I think, for a lot of people. And I think it's what separates people like y'all and people that are not successful from each other is that you get down in that funk and then a lot of people just give up, right? But folks like us, what I do, I'll get down like where I'm feeling some kind of way for a couple of days.
Yep.
And then finally it's like I hit that wall and I'm like, nothing's going to change unless I do something to fix it.
Yeah. There's nobody coming.
Yeah,
Nobody's
that's
coming.
right.
There's nobody coming to say like, oh shit, I can't do this. Well, hey, can you come help? No, there's nobody coming. So you have to do it on your own.
That's right. And
I love that statement. There's nobody coming.
No.
And you are in charge of your destiny. That's it, man. I love that. So y'all, how long have you been married?
Maybe 10 years.
42. We've been together.
10 years in January.
No, we made 10 years in January. High school sweethearts.
Okay.
Yeah.
We grew up
So
we grew up together, known each other our entire lives. Small town, Church Point.
Right.
Yeah. So
that in itself y'all have a hunger, and I've seen it because you're not from this area. I'm not from it either, but I've been here for a little while. You opened your denim store.
Yep.
Right. And great area, very highly trafficked.
Right.
And then from there, you ended up buying the franchise, which was at the time 2 other stores, right? Which is right.
Yes.
So, and I would say you bought a franchise at that time, and this is me looking at it from a consumer standpoint. A stale, like it was just there, like it delivered good stuff, but it was just there.
Yep.
And you buy it, and it's like whoop, and I can see it from my end, so I can only imagine because y'all get to see the numbers and people come through and all that, and I can only imagine because it's highly traveled now, even more than it was. Kudos to you, and I know because you gave her credit, but the social media side of your business is
y'all are crushing that. Like,
so you have these systems. Where did the hustle for both of you? I know that y'all had some early mentors that you both mentioned in your questionnaire.
Yeah.
Was it always there? Was it kind of pounded in you at an early age?
No. I don't know. I guess just one day, because I mean, aNDREA and I have always enjoyed fitness, and we've always enjoyed nutrition, stuff like that. So we made our life of it. I worked in the oil field for years, sacrificed time, life, everything to be able to do the things we're being able to do now. I'm broke now, but
But you have a smile on your face.
but I got a smile on my face because I'm doing something that I actually really enjoy doing. I don't know. I guess it was like a bug. It just got bit. Once we started seeing a little bit of success, I was like, man, I kind of want more.
It's like a drug.
Yeah, a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know. aNDREA and I, we met with the previous owners on some pricing and stuff like that because we were noticing with COVID and everything, food costs going up. And we're like, hey, we got to do something. We're having sales, but we're noticing that with rising food costs that our prices are not meeting because you're supposed to, industry standard is what, 33% of food costs. So anything under 30%, you're pretty good. Margins are better. I mean, the lower the food cost, the better the margin. So it's like, okay, we need to go up on costs because we were going from a point because chicken's our top seller. We're going from a point from buying a case of chicken for like 70 something bucks to over $100 almost within a 2-week span. Yeah. Like the highest I saw chicken get to was 140 something bucks for a 40-pound case.
And it gets hard because you don't want to. We can't bring our prices up
Right.
and then price ourselves out of the market
Correct.
in the store.
Right.
For the consumers.
Especially with us being a grab and go, we're not a fancy sit down restaurant.
Never
where
had
like,
so many conversations about chicken.
Well, yeah, but yeah, you don't have all the extra side items that can in a restaurant that can help your bottom dollar. I mean, you are a niche market.
Yes.
Right. And we're not
so-
processed, so
No,
the more when it's the more real stuff, it's more expensive.
or high quality food you use, it's more expensive.
Obviously, y'all know I'm a fan. I've been a fan.
Yes.
And I actually had this conversation two nights with a buddy from work. And it's funny because as elementary as it seems, there's nobody else doing it.
No.
I mean,
Not well, for sure.
no, if they are, you're not being heard and good, stay where you're at. But
Yeah.
but it is like the health food concept around where we live in Southern
Especially,
Louisiana is, I mean, look, you can go to Los Angeles and you can go to all these high-end places and it's everywhere. I mean, health food is just, you can walk five miles and see 7 stores that all have a different concept. But
Right.
here,
Yeah.
like you've cornered.
It's the same thing, but it's boudin balls.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yes.
But you cornered the market here. When you were talking about like how it just clicked, these little things, and you kept getting hungry. That's kind of how I was. Like,
Yeah.
I opened my gym and then I saw a little success with it, and it just like put a fire in me that I was like, well, if I can do this and it be sustained, and
Yeah.
I mean, it was supplemental income for me for a while. So, but to see that it was successful, I was like, okay, like I got a good base. This is good supplemental income. And I got hungrier as I went on. That's kind of how it was for you?
Pretty much. I also have crippling ADHD, so I get super hyper focused on things. And luckily enough, it's shit I like to do. So
I actually want to touch on that, and this is taking a right turn because I actually had a conversation about what you just said as well. People that have that hyper focusism in their body and their DNA.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
So, you can do that very unhealthy, or you can have, because I listen to podcasts and people, and some people are like, screw balance.
Yeah.
Like you got to go all in. I'm not a believer of that because
Same.
What you sacrifice on the back end of some things can be detrimental to your life.
Right.
You could be like soaring through the cloud in that thing that you were so hyper focused on, and everything behind you is just crumbling
Burning
to the
to the
ground.
ground.
And you're like, well, but I got it. And I'm like, yeah, but
What it cost.
Yeah, but behind you is a fucking wreck.
Right.
So you found that balance though.
Yes.
Right?
So typically whenever I realize that like, hey, I'm diving too deep in, or I'm noticing something in the back is falling off, I'll slow down. Or if we're having issues with a store or whatever, and I'll get super stressed out, I'll go for a workout or go for a run or whatever, try to clear my head for a little while. Especially since whenever I ruptured my bicep, I had to basically re-changed the way that I live. Last one when we got on the podcast with Jim and them, I was probably 20 pounds heavier, muscle, fat, shit like that. But since I ruptured my bicep back in May, I've had to realize that I have to rely on people. I never had to rely on anybody before. If they couldn't do it, guess what? I was going to do it. And it didn't matter what it was. I'm not one of these kind of owners or business guys that's like, oh no, that's why I hired people. I'm going to let them go do it. Oh no. I will cut chicken. I will cut steak. I will wash dishes. I will mop the floor. I will take the trash out. I don't care. If you beat me to go do something else, kudos to you. Because if not, I'm going to do it.
And you might get a pay raise if they do beat you, huh?
No. I'm not going to get my pay raise for doing their job.
That's right. I love it.
Bro, that is really powerful. This happens a lot in the military too. People like we'll get to this expectation where they want you to recognize people. And you should, as a good leader, you should be doing that anyway,
no,
right?
Of course, yeah.
But they'll get to the point where they want you to like give out awards. I'm like, you want me to give somebody an award for doing their job?
Yeah.
Like no more, no less, nothing stellar. Even doing a good job at your job is your job.
I mean, we give them a pat on the backs and stuff like that.
You know
we
what I
kind of
mean?
help them out, give them praise, stuff like that. But as far as like them just doing their job, the stuff that we pay them for, yes, we'll tell them, hey, thanks, good job, whatever. Give them a little bit of that. But I mean, as far as like giving extra stuff, there's no point. That's I'm paying you a paycheck.
That's right.
aNDREA, you know, as self-admitted by Jarrett, the brains of the operation on the back end. So your business partner in everything that keeps your life like rolling at 100% is your husband.
Yes.
So this is a different dynamic and duo that is not normal for some of the normal people that we'll have in here. So how do you deal with, you know, do you schedule like at-home meetings where y'all sit down and hash everything out?
We've just started that. Like the past, like when we bought Airline, it's like everything just exploded. And I'm like, you know, because just denim was okay. But when you added in the other ones, it was like, okay. And so now on Mondays, we sit and Jarrett and I do have a meeting on Mondays, try to talk. And sometimes I don't like, at night, I don't even see him. People are like, y'all live in the same house. I'm like, I know, but I got to get the kids to bed. He's doing the dishes, the laundry, you know, and then it's time to go to bed and do it all over again the next day. Yeah. So communication, we've been working really hard on that.
Right.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to have a different facets. I mean, because, you know, Macy is not involved in my business at all. But I'll come home and talk shop with her. But, I mean, y'all can actually be having, like, full-on board meeting discussions about what you're doing in your life.
We've done that at bath time, too, with the kids. Like, all right, we got to talk about this. You bathe the kids. I'm going to tell you what I have to say.
But we do try to find that balance where it's like, okay, we're sitting down. We're not going to talk about work. Whether if it's we're laying in bed next to each other, she's setting up for social media for the following day, and I'm watching the latest episode of whatever show I'm watching at that point in time. Or scrolling through my phone or looking up something or whatever. But yeah, communication we have realized is a huge, huge, huge thing. Not just in life, but in business, because we have teenagers. And it's funny enough, we had one of the girls asked us the other day, do y'all hire guys? Because out of 28 employees?
28 employees. We have one boy.
Well, including the gym. We have only 2 guys that work for us. Literally.
That's a pretty lopsided
you would think. And I mean,
employee ratio.
You would think. And I'm like,
3. Blake, our personal trainer,
Blake,
too.
Yeah, Blake
he just
too.
started.
I'm sorry, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not that we're pursuing girls or doing anything like this. It's just we say, hey, we're hiring. And we get this huge influx from Denim, from Walker, from Central, just a couple of LSU kids. And even ladies and stuff that are out of school.
Hey, y'all, if you're in the market for a real estate attorney that can handle all your title work needs, all your closing needs, all your succession needs, whatever your needs are in the real estate industry, look no further than our friends Shay Landry and the group at Milestone Title. Y'all, we use these guys for our personal business, and they have never let us down. They've been on top of the game every time we've used them. So whatever it is that you're looking for in the real estate industry, as far as a closing attorney or title work is concerned, check out our friends over at Milestone Title. Milestone Title, a proud sponsor of Hustle Makes It Happen, the podcast.
aNDREA, where were you at before the Fit Blends, you know?
I was
Anytime.
working. I was working for my aunt, and it's kind of funny. That's how Anytime Fitness fell in our lap. I worked for my aunt at her CPA firm, and the previous owners of the Anytime Fitness in Church Point were her clients. And when the gym came up for sale, she was like, "I think y'all need to buy it," because it was getting to the time where, we'd been married I think almost 6 years, and we still didn't have a family yet. It was just he and I. And she's like, "Y'all need to buy it. I think it's time to get Jarrett home," because it was been a long time. He was never, ever home. Like maybe, 20, 30 days a year.
I think we figured out.
You worked offshore?
Well, I did. I started offshore.
And then he went on call on land.
Right out of high school, I actually was going to go to school for instrumentation at Suella in Lake Charles. And before my grandfather passed away, he was the project manager for a company called Wheelbros that did oil field construction. Summer job. Like, sweet, I'm in. It's right there. We were working at a compressor station in Ragley, right north of Lake Charles. Would stay at their house during the weeks or whatever, because I think we worked 6-10, something like that. Yeah. Yeah, we worked 6-10s. So 18 years old, fresh out of school, making, I'm thinking,
Piles of money.
piles of
Buku
money.
He was
money.
so rich.
Piles of money, making $11 an hour working a shovel. Like, I'm in. So did that, thought I was making a killer money, which, I mean, at 18, yeah, it's pretty good. Went from a summer job to a 2-year job. Finished the job in Ragley, and then they sent me to Tennessee in Cumberland. Yeah, like right outside of Nashville. Stayed there for a summer for, about 3 or 4 months. Then went from there to Longview, Texas for a while, and then realized I don't like all this traveling. They also was going to send me to Wyoming during the winter, and I was like, no, I'm good.
It's cold up there.
I'm good.
I got some buddies that moved there with Exxon, and they made it 1 year.
Yeah, so funny story.
Fast forward a little bit.
Fast forward a little bit.
You went offshore.
Went offshore for a
went
while, worked for
on
Wood
call.
Group, for contracted through Apache out of Venice, 14 and 14. Loved it. I just got bored. Very repetitive, very the same thing every day. All you're doing is maintaining, which is great. I love the guys that I worked with, love the platform that I was on. I just got bored. I was hungry. Wanted to do something else. Got a job on land doing flowback and well testing for a little company called Jaguar out of Crowley. And they sent me everywhere. I went from the Gulf of Mexico to West Texas to Zapata, Texas on the border of Mexico, all the way to North Dakota.
Piedmont?
No, Sydney.
Okay.
Or no, Sydney. We stayed in Sydney. We lived in Sydney, Montana, where the shop was, and then we worked in North Dakota. So I've been all the way north to a little town called Crosby, which is probably about 3 miles from the Canadian border. Remember I said I quit my job because they were going to send me to Wyoming? Yeah, North Dakota is worse. I don't understand how those people live up there. I went on location one time, and it was -60. That was just the temperature. I'm not talking wind chill. And we also saw for 2 weeks one time, it never got above -20.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I ain't lost nothing up there.
No. Dude, whenever
Great place, cool during the summertime, very, very beautiful. Ducks galore. I mean, just ducks, geese everywhere.
Outdoors, just.
Oh yeah, outdoors. Anybody wants to go hunting, go to North Dakota
In the
during
summer.
during
In
the
the
summer.
summertime.
Yeah, during the summer and spring.
He
During
sent a
winter.
picture one time, and he had icicles in his eyebrows. And I was like, that just does not
Yeah,
look fun.
yeah.
Dude,
So
I did an assignment whenever I was working at Exxon. I did an assignment in like northern Canada.
Yeah.
Like I had to go there to help them like do an emergency startup.
Yeah.
And thank God it was like in August. But the weird thing was like the sun went down at like 10:30 and then came back up at like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
it
because
was,
the way
it was
the
the
hemisphere
weirdest
was,
thing.
yep,
Yeah.
the way the
So
Earth's
weird.
positioned.
But I remember when we were doing our in brief, they were telling us about how cold it got there, and it was kind of the same thing like you're talking about. They would show pictures of people, and like they would have ice in their eyelashes, and they told us they made us watch a little safety video about a dude who got killed by a big piece of ice, like the size of a Volkswagen, fell on him in a ladder cage. Yeah. So like that's a dangerous place to work in the freezing cold.
Yeah, it's no fun.
I didn't realize this, and it just came out through the conversation. But so you bought Church Point as an existing business as well?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
It's like a repetitive pattern that you have
Yeah.
A little bit.
One of these people that
So-
buy, build, and sell businesses. Those dudes are billionaires.
So,
Fingers crossed.
you know, that I think that in itself, you know, it's an established business, but if you know business, you know, someone selling a business can have red flags. They can have all types of things. And I've seen what you've done with the Fit Blends brand.
Right.
So is this similar that what happened in the Church Point and the Anytime Fitness brand?
So with Anytime Fitness, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was there.
We brought culture to it.
We did.
We have a good culture in there now. 2 great managers, personal
Yeah.
trainer, updated a lot of equipment over the years. Just give it the care that it needs.
I was just about to
Members
ask, like, what are
appreciate
the tenants that you've, like, so you had to do the same thing at Anytime that you had to do at Fit Blend. So, like, what's the recipe for you? What's it look like?
So basically what we do is we'll come in there, address everything that needs to be addressed, any issues or something like that. Of course, we'll fix those immediately. And then aNDREA will go to town on social media. We'll create a culture. We'll shout out local businesses even on our own page, which I think
We collab with a lot of
probably
local
one of the greatest things that we've decided to do. Not only because it not only does it support us, but it supports other local businesses. And the world's so competitive nowadays that everybody has to be on top. Everybody has to do this. Everybody has to do that. And I mean, granted, competitiveness is very good for you in general. It makes you want to strive to be better than you were the day before or the day, whatever. So we'll do things. We'll collab with other businesses. We'll collab with people. We'll bring them on. We'll give them shout outs, stuff like that. You help me, we help you, same stuff.
And just
and
great
then-
service
yes.
overall. Something's
Oh.
wrong, we're going to fix it.
Yep.
I promise. You know, that kind of stuff. You just
Yeah.
have to stay on top of it.
You know, we talked about you just got to show it some love.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Megan Goudot
Yeah.
said that.
She said love on it. Take your
She's-
business and love on it.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like it's like they had, you know, it's like they it's like they adopted a child that wasn't getting loved on.
Yeah.
And they showed it love, and it's like just flourishing.
Yep.
Because I mean, I couldn't watch it from the Church Point side of it, but I've watched literally the Fit Blends brand that was stale and just, you know, it's there. People talk about it and they'll post their wrap or their smoothie or something like that. But now, I mean, you guys are shouting out your employees as they're leaving to go do other things in their lives. And some people, like, when their employees are leaving, they're like, "Hey, bud, I got another job," or "Hey, I'm going to school." Like, some people are like, "Thanks.
Yeah.
Now I got to
Oh,
feel
you're
your
leaving
home."
me. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
thanks.
Right.
But you guys are taking snapshots of them and going, "Thank you for the time
Yep.
that you have spent here with our customers and our brand, and we cannot wait to see what you do in life." Like, y'all go ahead and start sending me people that do that with their businesses, because there's not a lot of them.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. It sucks when we lose somebody.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
Especially nowadays with everything being everybody being so short staffed with issues. It does suck. But I tell all the girls and I tell the guys, look,
You mean the two guys?
the two guys. Our 2 guys we have. Well, 3. We got 3 now. We got 3. We're working up.
I mean, if they're going to better themselves,
Little
that's amazing.
testosterone. Yeah.
We're
And
proud
that's what
of
I
them.
tell everybody. I'm like, look, if you're going to better yourself, I will never, ever, ever be mad at you. Never. I don't care if you work for me a week. I don't care if you work for me a year. I don't care if you work for me for 6 years. If an opportunity comes to better yourself, take it. Take it. And if you look at me, I'm going to tell you to take it. I'm going to tell you to quit working for me
To go better yourself.
to go better
Absolutely.
yourself.
That's right. Well,
And
that
if you don't, I'll be mad at you.
yeah, that just shows
And
that
I'm
y'all
gonna mess with you about
genuinely
it.
care. You know what I mean? Like, you genuinely care about your employees. You genuinely
Yes.
care about your customers, and that's probably the reason why you've been successful.
Well, that's what, you know, she said. We go in there and we change the culture, and that's the culture they're changing.
Yeah.
Look, and that is
It's not just
that
the
is
monetary
universal in
side.
leadership too. And people, in my opinion, do not place enough value on culture.
Yeah.
I know from some of my experiences in the National Guard, like whenever I was in company command, that was always one of the first things I looked at. Like, what is the culture like around here, and is it healthy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do people trust the people they're working for? Do the people that are in charge genuinely care about the people that are underneath them? Like, those are all cultural issues, and it seems like if you spend a lot of time focusing on improving the culture in an organization, then all the success and the processes and all the things you need to really excel kind of follow that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Culture is extraordinarily important, and people overlook it very often.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about this from a team dynamic because even though y'all are husband and wife, he's not my husband, but we're partners, right?
Yeah.
But with that, it's something I want to touch on because we never had the duo sit in here to ask this type of question. But for you, or I'll go across, we'll do a little roundtable with it. Sure. But, in a skill set that Jarrett might be lacking in, like whatever that is, it's organization or it's this or it's that. Does it sharpen your skill, knowing that he lacks in it? Do you know it?
Yeah, 100%. We also call each other out on a lot of shit. So.
Yeah. So I find myself like with us, he's very good with the organizational side of figuring out all that stuff and like the back end of like finances and loans and just all types of money avenues. Yep. He's really good at that, and I'm good in the trenches and I'm good in the sales side. Right. And it's like I know that like he's not, I'm not gonna say he's not as good, but he's not as sharpened in those things. And it's like it almost makes me want to be better at those things because like I know he is significantly better in those other things than me. And it's like that balance. It's almost key sometimes.
Yeah, well, what that allows you to do is it allows you to focus. It allows the right people to focus on the things that they're really good at. You know what I mean? And instead of trying to share, time in the trenches or trying to share sales, if all Chase has to focus on is going to meet with clients and make sales, and meeting with contractors to keep projects on track, and I can worry about everything else that happens on the back end, it allows him more time to do what he needs to do. It doesn't distract me with what he's supposed to be doing. It allows me to focus on what I'm supposed to be doing. Like that's team dynamic 101. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
One of the biggest things or at least for myself, is that we had to put all egos to the side. If you suck at something, hey, own up to it.
Yes.
And we try to instill that in our staff too. Like, hey, you made a mistake. Yeah. We're going to own up to it and we're going to fix it and make it better. Okay. Don't make an excuse. Yes. Let's just fix it.
Yep.
And that's been hard, especially
passing the blame
staff
is one thing that I cannot stand.
We really tried hard to implement that.
Yeah. I mean, y'all know I struggled with my kids.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of employees, so we're not dealing with a lot of things in that sense. I mean, we do deal with customers, but and it's more. I have a 6-year-old and a 12-year-old, so the 12-year-old is starting to like not wanting to take accountability, and I'm like, nope, stop right there. I'm like, that's an excuse. You failed at that, or you didn't give your full effort in it. Like, just learn from it. And the little one, he doesn't know. He just pulls down his pants and runs around and swings his ding dong everywhere.
That one house does the same thing. It's okay.
Shout out to the little dudes that run around naked all the time.
That's
Absolutely.
It. Y'all make life fun.
So we talked about it all the time. You talked about what motivates you, and because we were kind of touching on that, and kids.
Yes.
Right. You wake up I know y'all, and I know you personally, but y'all are hustling your ass off because you want to leave a good stamp and mark for your kids to like look up to, right? Yeah. I mean, that was a big thing in your questionnaire.
Mary James just told me yesterday. She's like, "I'm gonna grow up and work at Fit Blends." Just randomly at soccer practice, walking up to soccer practice. I was like, "That is the sweetest thing ever."
no, honey, you're gonna grow up and own Fit Blends.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But they've been a part of it since they were babies. They weren't in daycare. They stayed home with me. I was lucky enough to be a stay-at-home mom. We made it work that way. That's what I wanted. And Thomas Reed was 3 months old when we started on denim.
Yeah.
So every meeting, every contract meeting, I mean, they call the Bass Pro Store the fish store because when we came to denim,
that's what mine call it
we
too.
have to go to the fish store,
and every time we had a meeting with a contractor.
They grew up seeing it all. They think it's just part of life, and I'm so thankful for that.
Yep.
For all of it.
Think about what that's instilling in them too. You know what I mean? Like they get to spend their entire life watching y'all build something from the ground up.
Yes.
Hopefully they'll want it one day, and I don't have to worry about selling it.
But it's just that. I don't think we realize, I mean, we're all parents, right? I don't think we realize as parents how valuable and how much impact that's going to have 10, 15 years from now on our kids. You know?
And they are sponges.
Oh, yeah. Like
sponges. Like I didn't realize, like I got to watch my mouth a lot.
Yeah.
Because I curse like a sailor, and I'm going to try not to do it too much on here. They're like sponges. And even whenever aNDREA and I talk about work and stuff like that, Mary James will interject and say something like, "Okay, cool.
Or she'll even like make like a suggestion for one of the stores. I'm like,
Yeah.
she's 5.
Yeah.
You know, that's just awesome that she's in it day to day with us.
Already.
And Thomas
Dad,
is
have you
as
thought
well.
about portion bags? Man, put everything in a portion.
Yeah.
Golly.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Yeah, Brent has recently, like when I go do job sites on the weekends and stuff, because you know the work doesn't stop.
No.
Yes.
And I'm looking at things and I'm writing things down on my phone, or I do little voice memos to myself sometimes.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
smart.
talk
I'm
to
gonna
himself.
steal that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have
yeah.
to steal
Definitely
that.
need to do
so
that.
I do that a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm stealing that. One.
And like when I'm walking through a house, you know, we're looking at a project. I especially do it in the homes because there's so many like.
Yeah.
I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to address this.
Right.
And I'll go back and listen to it later.
Yeah.
Hey, you didn't know I did that, did you?
No, bro, that's way. So I do it on a text list, but
Yeah.
that's
Voice memo.
genius.
So
Look at
Brent,
you.
so Brent,
Just walk around talking to yourself.
That's it. I do that.
and it's
anyway,
awesome because
so-
I'll play it back at night when I'm like going
Yeah.
through my brain of what I need to do and things I need to focus on for the next day. And those are like little just memory joggers. But
Mm-hmm.
Bryn has been with me these last couple weekends, and she'll get in the truck and the wheels are turning,
Love
and
that.
she goes, Dad, why did you say this? And why did you do that?
That's
and
awesome.
I want to learn about this. And I'm like in my brain, like as a dad, and I don't tell her this yet, but I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I want you to be a little real estate mogul when you grow up. Like,
Yes.
I want you to go out there and like,
Yeah.
you be this girl that's like, boom, boom, you need to do this. Let's build this.
Absolutely.
Let's
Definitely.
own 7 strip malls. Like, you know, I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
but I love that y'all really focused it on the kids. You're like, we wake up every day knowing like this is what we're leaving, you know, our impact on.
Yep.
So what are some failed systems that you learned from, and did you from the gym side, and did any of that translate into your other businesses, or vice versa? Like, is there some that clicked on a light bulb in one facet of your business that shifted over to the other one? Because you're in the health realm on both of them, right? But
Yeah.
but they're totally different.
Correct.
Have you seen that you know a system that you put in place here actually can work universal to the other side? Even though they're in a different room?
Not really. I mean,
They're just too different.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we try to implement things with employees as far as consistency and stuff like that, and in customer service. I mean, I guess that would be the only thing, because we're very, very adamant about customer service.
Like that's 100%.
Yeah.
In both of them.
Yeah.
That definitely crosses over.
Yeah, I guess that would probably
Which
be about
which leads into, for y'all, building the team is like,
Yeah.
it is almost top tier.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the
We all
most
talked
important
about
thing.
that too. You talked about building the culture and building the team.
Right.
That transcends both realms, right? You got to build the culture and build a team at any time. You got to build the
Right.
culture, build the team at
right.
Yes.
at Rain, and that's like really the main takeaway for me for the show is, as you're building your business or building your your little empire or whatever it is, like that culture is super important and that team is super important.
I mean, I guess we're kind of crossing over to where, like, if we do something at the gym or whatever, we'll include fit blends, or if granted, we can't really do it here because we're so far from the gym, but in Rain, if we do something with the gym, we'll try to cross them over or whatever to where we incorporate, like, because we have a lot of people that are from Church Point, but Church Point's a commute town. I think there's like, 4,000 people in the whole town. So they take 35, which is the road that leads from Church Point to the interstate. They take that road daily. So regardless if we do something with the gym, was like, hey, we're doing a giveaway, or hey, we're doing this, you get a Fit Blends card, or you'll get a percentage off of supplements, or we'll give you 10 meals on us if you win this whatever. And vice versa. Kind of like if we'll do a thing where, like, oh, you can get a free month if you enter in this at the store, or we'll collab, like I was saying, we'll collab with businesses and stuff like that, to where, like, recently we did a giveaway at the store with a face.
Maybe
What's it called?
blush skin
Esthetician.
You did really well.
Face.
Yeah, face.
Mamie
Steph,
Brown,
face.
she's
Esthetician.
awesome.
Yes, yeah, super cool.
It just created a lot of culture for the Rain store.
Yeah,
Just
so
two
basically-
businesses supporting each other, and
Yep.
we did a like and giveaway, and
Yeah.
it worked really well. People like to see that.
Katie Benton Thompson is your local trusted realtor. Born and bred in real estate as a third-generation realtor, she deals with developments from lots and to houses. Katie was raised building the parish of Livingston. Her family roots have grown this parish for the last 30 years. This environment has educated Katie in all areas of real estate. I can tell you from personal experience, Katie Benton Thompson is a hustler in every way. She is constantly digging her heels in to give her clients the best buying or selling experience she can. Give Mandy Benton Realty Group a call and ask for Katie Benton Thompson at 225-953-0677.
One of the last things I wanted to talk to y'all about was something that kind of jumped out at me in your questionnaire.
Sure.
You wrote it, so I kind of want to ask you to explain it a little bit. You said you just got back into fitness, and like you were already into fitness,
Yes.
had your kids, backed out of it, and then you recently got back into it. And the question that you answered on here was, what do you think directly contributes to success? And you brought that up, and I loved your answer, and I want you to tell me a little bit about it.
I mean, I find just it makes me a better version of me. And I lost that for a while, just having kids, and life was fast paced, and we just had so much going on. And this is recent, like a couple weeks ago, I was like, stop, because things had just been so stressful and hard. And I think I was making it that way because I wasn't taking care of myself first.
Mm-hmm.
And, I told Jarrett, I was like, I have to fix it, I've always eaten well, but not as good as I should be. And that's a big thing, eating well and working out. And I just started about, say, 6 weeks ago again, and it's like the light bulb went off. And I'm like, okay, my brain's working again, and I can be better for other people that I need to be better for, and that kind of stuff. And I mean, it's very vital for in my everyday life.
Yeah.
Now,
The reason I wanted to bring that up is because, so I met you guys, I don't know, just probably 6 months ago, right? Whenever I started going to your store all the time. But so y'all didn't know this. Chase knew this. Before I left to go on deployment, in the very beginning of 2021, I was like 225 pounds. I was big, like way bigger than I needed to be. After going overseas and focusing on health and getting back in shape and getting in this routine of going to the gym, like I've heard people talk about how beneficial that stuff is mentally for you, but I never really bought into it, never really believed it. Like I had worked out off and on since, high school or whatever, but after going and getting in that routine every day, and Chase tells me this now, or told me before I left, and I just wasn't listening. It's insane how much better you feel. And really, for me, how much more drive it's given me to be successful in other things.
yes.
I think that is crazy important. And I think you were the first one that we've interviewed that directly called out fitness to directly correlating to success. And I wanted to highlight it because I 100% agree, and I did not agree with it a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Same. I was in the same boat. I just thought, I worked out because I wanted to work out. But it's vital to my life now. I have to have it
Same.
to be able to pour myself into other things that we do every day.
People think I'm
It's the only
crazy.
answer.
People think I'm crazy. Before I did my bicep, I was doing powerlifting. I was doing Olympic lifting. We were doing bodybuilding. I was doing whatever I could, trying to pick up as much weight as I could, doing whatever I wanted. And people would say, like, oh, you enjoy working out. Like, look, the physical aspect of it is awesome. It's a great plus. I said, but to be honest, the entire reason of why I do this is so I don't become a crazy person.
Yeah, the
It's
mental clarity.
straight for
It
mental.
really is.
And people look at me and are like, there's no way. There's no way. I'm like, look, if I don't care what my body looks like, to be honest, I really don't. I don't. It's never really been like I have to have the biggest biceps, I have to be the strongest dude in the gym. I don't care. I really don't. I'm probably the most competitive person you'll ever meet. So if I go to the gym and I go do deadlifts, or I go do squats, or I go do whatever, or go do some Olympic lifting, snatch, clean and jerk, whatever, I will do it until I clear my head. Once my head's cleared, I'm good. Regardless if that takes 30 minutes, regardless if that takes 2 hours, regardless if it takes 3 hours. There's been a time that I've spent 4 hours in the gym. And it's been just
grinding.
Just grinding.
Just trying to clear it all out.
Just clear it all out, just working out like a madman, just intense, doing weights, doing cardio, doing whatever. Just, it was a bad day for me or whatever, for whatever reason. I don't remember what it was, to be honest. Just going to town until finally my mind was clear. I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm exhausted, but I'm good. Like especially since I can't really work out, when I need to go clear my head, I got introduced into rucksacking. So started out super small, went to, Go Ruck, shout out.
Boom. I'm doing a 9 mile tomorrow if you want to come.
Sure. No, God, no. That's too far from me right now. I'm still on the 5Ks.
No, we're doing 9, 4 o'clock in the morning.
No, God, I'm not.
See you there.
Nope, not a morning person. Nope, I will tell you right now, I am not a morning person. I tried that.
We can make you a morning person, though. You can do it.
Probably.
Challenge.
I'll hate myself for doing it, but I'll probably still do it anyways. No, so I got into rucking, especially when I ruptured my bicep. Couldn't curl, couldn't do anything. I literally, my hand, post-surgery, my hand was stuck like this in just a vertical position. Like there was no turning, like pronation, supination, none of that. Couldn't do it, just stuck in a fixed position. I was like, well, shit, what am I going to do? I can't do legs all the time. I mean, I could, but I don't really want to. So a family member introduced me into rucksacking. He's big into it, does a lot of functional stuff. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Got into it, bought the pack, bought a camel pack, I think I started out with a 30-pound. Yeah, started out with a 30-pound. Now, Church Point's super small. So I'm the crazy person during the middle of the summer where it's like 2 o'clock and it's like 100 degrees, walking around town.
I've gotten so many text
with a bag on.
messages. Like,
With a bag on. Yeah, with a bag on.
people will text me and say, I see Jarrett walking around town with a book sack. I'm just wondering if he's okay.
Yeah.
If you can't visualize this is this small town in Louisiana.
I've gotten, and he walks
Jared-
on Main Street.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Jared's
it's fine.
Jared's this big old guy with a book sack all full of weight walking around
In the
town.
middle of the day.
With my ghillie hat on and my sunglasses and my headphones.
Is he okay? I'm like, he's fine. He's good.
Oh, yeah. But I
He
would
made
do
the
that.
city Facebook page.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if
so
you
funny.
see this man, watch out for him. No, but I started out with that, got to where 30 pounds was good. Decided it was getting faster and faster. I mean, time wise, I don't know if it's any good. Some people have told me, like when I was in 20s, I was getting down to like sub 15 minutes. Decided I was going to move up from 30 pounds to 45. So I bought a 45. Did that, got to where I'm like sub 16s in those. But I wouldn't go any, I think the furthest I've ever gone is like a 5 mile or something like that.
Till tomorrow.
Till tomorrow, yes. Which it's in my truck. I keep it with me all the time. I actually have that and a 60-pound sandbag. Now that I can actually do some stuff, I'm probably going to start using my sandbag more. I did it one time where I threw the sandbag on my back and walked around town. I got the strangest looks.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Because I'm walking around, and thank God it has these big, long straps on it. So I'm walking like this, and I'm just trudging along, just going as
Bebopping
fast.
with your
Just
sandbag.
bebopping, go. Got my headphones in. I'm probably listening to a book. Matter of fact, I'm definitely listening to a book. It's so music's great, but if you put on, especially when you're doing cardio or something like that, it's just something that's mindless. Well, all you have to do is just put one foot in front of the other. That's it. That's all you gotta do is put one foot in front of the other. I'll put on a book, and it doesn't matter what it is. As long as it interests me, I'm in. Like right now, I think I've already listened to 4 or 5 books. I did David Goggins' book, which You Can't Hurt Me. Great book, by the way. I'm sure y'all have listened to it or read it. Right now, I'm listening to, what is it? The Man That Figured Out the Stock Market. It's about this mathematician from the 70s that basically, he has this hedge fund, and they generate 65% profit back.
Eesh.
Yeah, but he does it all not through reading through the algorithms, but he does it through science and mathematics, where he figured out these mathematic problems where they can do commodities and stuff like that. And I can't remember the man's name, which is terrible.
You'll remember tonight.
Yeah, at 3 o'clock in the morning, I remember like, yeah, that's it.
But I'm just proud of him for changing his whole mindset of what makes him keep going.
Yeah,
That it's funny because I looked at that. I look at what Jared just said in
Yeah.
the sense that
He had to figure it out.
he had this limitation, and we do that in business and life. That we talked about earlier. I had knee surgery last year in April, so high impact stuff. The things that I've been doing for the last 11 years have been off the table. Yeah. I have to like try to figure out another route for something that like I truly love doing.
Right.
And that's something you had to do too. Like I look at it solely as like this was an obstacle. Like I know it had to do with health and wellness, but it's because of what it gave you in your life, and you had to figure out what's another way that I can get that back.
Yep.
Right.
Because I can't go to the gym and go pound it out for 2 hours anymore when I have a bad day.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome though to know that you figured that was an obstacle, it was a life obstacle instead of like more of a occupational obstacle.
We do. I mean, especially with the gym and stuff, we run into cancellations, and then the worst cancellation that and not that I hate it, it makes me sad. that somebody says that they don't have time.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. No,
You have time. You have to make time. You have to make it a part of your routine. I understand, look, kids, life, everything gets in the way. We totally understand that. More than anybody probably else does, because all of our businesses with our 2 kids that are active, our life just in general, but you still have to find that me time, regardless of what it is. Us, we enjoy physical activity. I think everybody should do that just because of the health benefits of it and the mental clarity that they'll gain from it, but it all depends on their priorities. If they're going to prioritize going out to eat and doing this, or going to the bar, go and do whatever over bettering themselves, then that's fine. That's on them. There's no judgment. But at the same time, if they change that mindset to where, you know what, I'm going to make this part of my team because I know it's going to make me a better person in the long run. And not just make me a better person physically, it's going to make me a better person internally as well. To where they may have not, they may have a, like, forsake a marriage. Okay, Andre and I get in arguments. Everybody gets in arguments. It happens. You're not supposed to get it. You're not supposed to agree on everything all the time. If you do, good for y'all. But I don't understand. How you do
something's
it.
wrong.
Yeah, y'all are robots or something. So when it comes to arguments and stuff like that, you have so much stress that's built into your body from your daily life. You need to get it out somehow, and it's not through arguing with your spouse. It's through reading a book. It's through whatever interests you. Like, I've always, and it's funny enough because we own Fit Blends now, I've always thoroughly enjoyed cooking. Like, yeah, I make Fit Blends and it's all healthy and stuff. I throw down.
You make some of that good.
Yeah, I make some of that good. Like, for my mother-in-law's birthday, I made her a shrimp and tasso Alfredo. And I make if I'm gonna do a sauce, I'm doing it from scratch. I'm not using a jar. We're not doing process. If I got to Google how to make it, I'm going to Google how to make it. And guess what? It normally comes out pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the cook of the house. My dad's always looking at me like, we were eating.
Yeah.
Call Jarrett.
Call me the chef.
He'll come home from working like 9 hours of Fit Blends and cook dinner. I mean, that's just, I couldn't do that.
Dude's got a
That's
passion for it.
He does. Yes.
That's good, man. Y'all have obviously figured out a way, and you've been very successful at taking something that, and you said it right at the beginning, something that you were passionate about and figuring out a way to do it full time.
Yep.
You've been able to figure out how to be right there at every step, contributing at the same level with a different skill set. And I think it's amazing how you two are able to take your individual skills and your individual passions and combine them and build them into something that we all hope is going way bigger than it is now. And I totally 100% believe in the two of you, because we've been able to sit here and watch what we've done just right here in Denham Springs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's really, really admirable. We're right here at the hour mark, kind of like to stick around right here. So
Sure.
We'll start closing it up. Chase, you got any final thoughts or anything else you want to bring up?
Yeah, just this shows a testament to what two people can do when they're in sync and they put process together and they love on what they're doing together. I mean, a husband and wife team that are like tackling, multifaceted businesses shows a testament to who they are. And look, these two people sitting in this room put back into their community. They're not even from this community, and they've already made a huge staple in this area. Like, they live an hour from here, so they're owning businesses hour plus from their house, and people are raving about what they're doing, who they are as people, and that shows. 100%. I'm pretty glad to call these two people my friends.
Yeah,
So
no doubt. You got anything you want to close out with? Final thoughts?
Eat Fit Blends. It makes me feel better.
Yes, it does.
Eat well, feel well.
Yes, eat well and feel well with Fit Blends. Promise you love it.
Yes.
Love it.
I know we're over the hour mark.
Oh, you're good, man.
Yeah, you're good.
We can go as long as we want.
Okay, well, cool. So I guess now we can start talking about the future. So hopefully within the next, 8 months or so, we're working with a franchisee lawyer to where we get our FDD and everything situated with trademark and everything. So hopefully within the next 8 months or so, we're actually going to pursue selling franchises. So if you're interested, let us know. Between that and we're in the process of trying to get a food trailer to where not only will you be able to go eat at Fit Blends at our brick and mortars, but if you have an event, like we always do Sling and Iron for their big fling. I can't even pronounce it right now. Spring fling. There we go. With Justin King and them, great people. Matter of fact, that's actually how I ruptured my bicep. I was being a smart individual and grabbed a flat top that we was using to cook it on, decided I was going to put it in the back of a truck by myself. Which, funny enough, I had already put it in, taken it out, and then decided, hey, we're done cooking. I'm just going to put it up, and it just decided to unzip on me. It's all good, but hopefully within the next couple of months, I think they said it takes like a 10-week build or something like that, to where we'll be mobile. We'll be able to go anywhere.
Love it.
Food shows,
events,
anything, and it's gonna be literally a kitchen on wheels. Like the company that we have designing it, it's literally, I'll be able to serve everything from my menu wherever.
That's
Smoothies, all my hot menu items. Of course, we won't have supplements or anything like that in there, but the food side of it. When that's another thing that we're actually fighting with right now. I say fighting. A lot of people still portray us as a supplement store, because whenever the old owners had it, they had like this huge overstock of supplements, which was great and that worked for them. But now we're trying to change the concept to where we are a predominantly food service company that not only sells food, does prep, but also sells supplements as kind of like a little one-stop shop. So yeah, the future's pretty good so far. Hopefully everything works out to play.
Yeah, y'all are going to crush it, man. Knowing the kind of people that you are and the drive and the determination that you have, like, there's no doubt you're going to be successful. What about social media? What's your social handles?
Oh, so many of them.
Oh, my personal one?
Or whatever,
No, just
whichever
like
ones you
plug
want
the
people to go
business.
to.
Oh, plug business. So you can go to
our website will be live soon.
Yes,
fitblends.com. We'll be able to send everybody there. You can online order our macros, our information, our background, history, staff stories. It's going to be really good. It's coming out soon. We're in the final audits of getting it out to the real internet.
Yep. Shout out Black Sheep Corrections.
Black Sheep Creative. They've been great with us. So yeah. And then Fit Blends Denim Springs, Fit Blends Airline, Fit Blends Rain, and Anytime Fitness Church Point.
There we go.
That's it. All right, guys. Well, thank y'all for joining us. Look, if you're a new viewer and you got some value out the show, make sure you share it with your friends and come back and get some more. If you're a long-term viewer, drop us that 5-star review on iTunes. Let us know what you think. Guys, that's it. It's another episode of Hustle Makes It Happen, the podcast. Remember, until next time, keep your head down, keep your eye on the ball. Hustle makes it happen, but most importantly, have fun.